Well, good morning. Welcome. So the first thing we do whenever we sit down to meditate is establish our intention for our practice. So we can just take a moment now to generate compassion for all sentient beings and make the compassionate wish to free all sentient beings from suffering. And then we'll say the opening prayers. Say the 7-line prayer 3 times. Organ yugi num jansam, pemage sar dompola, yatsen chogi ngorubne, pema jone jesudra, kordu kandro mangpo kor, Kyetki Jesu dak druki Jinji lok chia sheksu so Guru Pema Siddhi Home Organ Yugi Num Jansam Pema Ge Sar Dompola Yatsen Chogi Ngodrubne Pema Jone Jesura Gordu Kandro Mangpo Gor Ketki Jesu Dak Druki Jinji Lok Chia Sheksu So Guru Pema Siddhi Home Organ Yugi Num Jansam Pemage sar dompola, yatsen chogi ngodrubne, pema jongne jesura, kordu kandro mangpo gor, kyetki jesu dak drupki, jinji lok chia sheksu so, Guru Pema Siddhi Home. Alright. So the meditation that we'll be doing today is called Shamatha meditation or calm abiding meditation, as you all know. So Jetsma has taught that meditation is the natural state of mind when it is relaxed, stable, and open. And doing this calm abiding meditation trains our mind to be calm and relaxed while also being alert and wakeful. And the point of this meditation is to create space in our minds. And creating that space helps us to balance our emotions. It gives us time between whatever's going on in our life and our reaction to it. It gives us, like, having that space is very empowering because it empowers us to respond to our life instead of react to it. Instead of bouncing off of everything like a rubber ball in a little room, we can, just like bing, 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 bing. We can instead like actually see what's going on and respond in a way that is in line with our values and our bodhisattva aspirations. And that space is also the first step in the development of bodhicitta, or the compassionate wish to free all sentient beings from suffering. And even though it feels a lot of time when we're meditating, because it is our habit to be distracted and in our thoughts and following our thoughts all of the time, it can feel like counter to our natural way of being to meditate. It feels awkward, like sometimes, like it can feel like when you pet a cat the wrong way and you push their fur up the wrong way on their back, and it feels weird because it's not our habit. But actually, the state of mind that we are, this stable state of mind, the state of mind that's relaxed and open and stable, that state of mind is actually our natural state. And so we're not creating anything new when we're meditating. We're not trying to be something other than we are. We're actually allowing ourselves to be ourselves. It's actually allowing ourselves to rest in the truth of who we are, to rest in our being, and to rest in just the nature of things as they are. So it can feel awkward because it's not our habit, but actually we are practicing being ourselves. We're practicing being natural. We're practicing being in our natural state of mind. I'm just not used to it. So we can just take a comfortable seat. If you're watching online, you can do this meditation sitting in a chair or sitting on the floor, cross-legged. And we'll place our hands in our lap, gently relaxed. Traditionally, we hold one hand in the other with the thumbs touching and place our hands so our thumbs are just below our navel. You can also just rest your hands on your thighs. Hello. Hello. Are you here for the meditation class? Oh, great. We're just getting started. Yeah. That's okay. We started a few minutes late, so we're just getting into it. Yeah. So everyone, do you have cushions and everything? Got what you need? Okay. So the meditation that we're practicing today is called Shamatha meditation or calm abiding meditation. This meditation is common to all practices of Buddhism, all traditions of Buddhism, but you don't have to be Buddhist to practice it. And the instruction for this class comes from Jetsuma Akan Lama's book, Stabilizing the Mind. So this meditation, the point of this meditation is to create space in the mind. Our natural state, so this meditation helps acquaint us with the natural state of mind, which is relaxed, stable, and open. And that's not normally our experience of our mind. Our mind is often not those things. But so this meditation trains our mind to be calm and relaxed while also being alert and wakeful. And creating this space in our mind, this meditation creates space in the mind, which helps us to balance our emotions. It helps us to have some space between whatever's going on in our life and our reaction to it. And it's the first step in the development of bodhicitta, which is the compassionate wish to free all sentient beings from suffering. So we can take a comfortable seat. You can do this meditation sitting in a chair or sitting cross-legged on the floor. And we'll just place our hands in our lap, gently relaxed. Traditionally, we hold one hand in the other with the thumbs touching, and then place our hands so the thumbs are just below your navel. You can also just rest your hands on your thighs, though. And then we'll check in with our posture, making sure our spine is straight. You can imagine a thread going up your spine and out the crown of your head, and just tug on that thread to pull your spine tall. Our shoulders are open, our back, and our elbows are out a bit. So there's a lot of room around our rib cage for our breath, a lot of room to breathe. Our eyes will remain open, looking downwards. So you can imagine a line following the bridge of your nose, down, down, down to the ground, and just find a place along that line where it's comfortable to rest your gaze. And then lastly, place the tip of your tongue right behind your front teeth. It's like saying the letter L. And allow yourself to relax completely and breathe normally. If you feel like it's difficult to settle into your natural pattern of breathing, you can do a big exhale and let out all of your air. And then that kind of helps reset your breath. Relaxing into our natural rhythm of breathing, we then put a very light attention on the breath. Don't try to control it at all. Just breathe naturally with the most gossamer thin attention on your breath. It's like taking your pulse. You don't put any pressure on it or try to change it in any way. Just observe it. Your attention is like a feather, gently riding on the surface of your breath. When thoughts come up, just let them go like bubbles popping on the surface of a pond. Just let them pop. Don't even look to see what they are. Your meditation is not lost by hearing your thoughts, but by following them down the road. So when you find yourself following a thought, just drop it, let it pop, and return to your breath. And if it's really difficult for you to dismiss your thoughts, you can imagine tongs picking up the thought and dropping it, or cutting them with scissors and throwing them away. But you always return to that single pointed concentration. Just return again and again to the gossamer thin attention on your breath. So that's our warm-up round of meditation. We do 3 rounds of meditation in this class. And I like to mention, if you're new to meditation, it's really good to start with very short sessions, even as short as 45 seconds at a time, just a few breaths. It's really helpful to just start with very small chunks, and then you can work your way up as you get more used to meditating. But it's if it's not a habit to meditate, takes time to get used to sitting still, sitting cross-legged, and sitting with yourself. So our next round will be a little longer. We'll meditate for about 15 minutes for our next round. Set the new timer. Does anyone have any questions about meditation before our next round?
So we've been meditating every day.
Cool.
And I get to meditate at work too, which is nice. We have a meditation room.
Oh, nice.
Really good company culture. The only thing I struggle with, I usually do sit in the chair. I can't seem to, if I try to relax, then where am I? So it's the balance between holding myself up.
Yeah.
But not holding too much tension.
Yeah.
So I guess it's just practice.
Yeah, and finding the right cushion too. Sometimes that makes a big difference. And some people are more sway backed or more, and you might need a higher or lower cushion. Or there's also those Japanese meditation benches, which some people find those are easier on their knees. So it takes time of just getting used to what your body needs. Yeah.
Maybe I'll try one more question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, please do. There's more here. There's also under on the far side by the door there's a door under the altar where there's a whole bunch of cushions. You're always welcome. If you're here meditating, you're always welcome to help yourself to whatever cushions. Oh yeah, there's those too. There's back jacks. Yeah. Yeah, I find.
I have a question about breathing through the mouth.
Sure.
Through the nose.
Yeah. So you can do either, but so breathing through. There's differences in breathing through the mouth or nose. Does affect the regulation of your fight or flight, your nervous system. And there's things that cue our bodies to tell us that we're relaxing now. So there are some. It can be a little bit more relaxing for the mind to breathe. Sometimes instructions say breathe through the nose or breathe through the mouth, but in the instruction I've received, it doesn't matter that much for the practice. What matters the most is having a straight spine and a relaxed body, and then breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth can be additionally, more relaxing, but wouldn't worry too much about it if that's worry more about just staying with the breath, however you're breathing. Breathing just through the mouth can also be more relaxing. Breathing just through the nose tends to be a little bit more we're doing stuff, not relaxing as much. Yeah. All right, so we're going to meditate for a longer period of time. So we'll just settle into our meditation posture with our straight spine, relaxed body. Shoulders are open. Elbows are out a bit. Eyes are open, looking downwards, following the line of the nose. And then the tongue is just behind your front teeth. Allow yourself to relax completely and breathe normally. And then put a very light attention on your breathing. Don't try to control it at all. Just breathe naturally, with the most gossamer thin attention on your breath. Because I'm going to revise my earlier answer a little bit. I notice I always breathe through my nose when I meditate. I have seen instructions for breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. Generally, mouth breathing is not natural unless you've got some kind of, you're stuffed up. But if you are stuffed up, it's fine to breathe through your mouth. It's fine. Personally, with the tongue position, I find it difficult to breathe in or out through my mouth because of the position of the tongue and what that does for your breathing way. Not all meditation instructions mention the position of the tongue. And I'm not 100% sure this is true, but my personal pattern that I've noticed is that generally meditation instructions that mention breathing out through the mouth often don't mention the tongue position, and vice versa. Jetsama mentions neither of those things in her book, Stabilizing the Mind. She doesn't mention the tongue position, and she doesn't mention whether to breathe in or out through your mouth or nose. She says to breathe naturally. I learned the tongue position thing from her directly and also from Pile Retreat, and it's part of the 7-point meditation posture. But even that is not always mentioned in all meditation instructions. So, but each of the things that we do with our body, we do for a reason. So breathing, and whether we're breathing in and out through our nose, through our mouth, we're, for one thing, just trying to breathe in a way that is unobstructed, because allowing the breath to move through the body unobstructedly helps our thoughts to move through unobstructedly, so we're not getting stagnant. That's part of why we need so much, we want a lot of room around our rib cage to breathe. We want to be able to breathe easily, because when we get stuck, it's hard to breathe. It's hard to let your thoughts move through too when you get stuck in them. So you don't want to force yourself to breathe in a way that doesn't feel natural to yourself. Like, for instance, like the tongue position, that's not mentioned in all instructions, but it does so much for your meditation. For one thing, the position of the tongue, having the tongue right behind your front teeth, it helps you to swallow during your meditation. So that helps you to just not like drool while you're meditating for a long period of time. Very practical. And also there's an energetic point there that connects both hemispheres of your brain. And so that's helpful for meditation as well. The tongue is also connected through the fascia to the diaphragm. And so having that your tongue in that position tells your diaphragm to relax, and that you can breathe deeply, breathe easily. So each of these things we do for our posture, it has a reason, it has a function. And you can do this meditation sitting down or standing up, anywhere you are, and all you need is a straight spine and a relaxed body. So it all has a purpose, and the only thing that is essential is a straight spine and relaxed body. And then otherwise it's it's kind of like you can watch and notice if you feel, for instance, that the nervous system regulation by breathing in a particular way, or maybe doing box breaths before you start meditation, like something like 4 breaths in, 4 breaths out, like Jetsama's recommended that before, is a good way to like settle yourself before meditating. So you can do these things, knowing the reasons for them. You can know what's critical for you. But yeah, at the end of the day, you can also just be standing in a grocery store line, and you can do this. You can meditate on your breath. You can also meditate on an object. You can meditate on a picture of the Buddha or like a flower, or in the grocery store line, you could meditate on the color blue in the woman's coat in front of you. And you could just meditate on that for a couple seconds. Just rest your mind, allow the mind to rest, and then check out. So, all right, so we're going to end with one more. Just really, yeah.
The open eyes.
Yeah.
I usually do closed eye.
Okay.
So with the open eye, I'm guessing it's okay to let your gaze blur.
Yeah, and it's the position of the eyes. So you can kind of imagine a line following the bridge of your nose downwards, and find a place to rest your gaze that's kind of in that line. And yeah, you are just letting your eyes rest. You're not like intently focusing on something. It's just a way for you can just wherever it's comfortable for your eyes to just kind of let them be. And then if you're feeling really tired, you're feeling really like sluggish or tired, it can be helpful to raise that point so your eyes are a little bit more open, like if my point is here, I might be like, oh, I'm tired. So I might raise my gaze and be looking here. And that can help you be more awake. And then vice versa. If you're feeling too awake, like too much going on in your head, you might lower your eyes. So there's a little less light going into your eyes. And you can kind of regulate your energy a little bit with the position of your eyes. Yeah. And we often people start meditating, they're not comfortable meditating with their eyes open because it's often not how people, it's just because you feel uncomfortable if you're not used to it. But so it's okay to, like, if when you first start, if you want to try it that way, that's fine. But we keep the eyes open because we're meditating to wake up. We're not trying to relax and go to sleep. We're meditating to wake up. And so we want to be awake with our eyes too. And also because during our meditation, we're not trying to shut anything out. We're not trying to shut out our thoughts. We're not trying to shut out our surroundings. If, there's music playing in here, sometimes you hear people in the front hall, it's all okay. There's thoughts going through your head. It's all okay. We're not trying to stop it or control it. So, yeah. Right. Is that more comfortable?
100%. And it's leftover right?
What'd you say?
Leftover right.
Yeah. See, I'm going to do right over left.
Right over left.
Honestly, I've also seen Yonggi Mingyur Rinpoche talk about just in long meditation sessions switching back and forth when his hands get sweaty. So I also think this is a thing that's like there's a traditional way and there's a practicality that it might change throughout your session. Yeah, I want to say I don't have that in my notes. I'm pretty sure it's right over left, but sometimes I get dyslexic with those things too. All right. So we'll settle back into our meditation posture with our straight spine, relaxed body, putting a very light attention on our breath. Just breathing naturally with the most gossamer thin attention on your breath. And at the end of our session, we close with some dedication prayers. Are there dedication prayers there in front of you? Huh?
You're in the blue folder?
Oh, okay, there. You got it. Great.
Yeah.
So we always begin our meditation practice with setting a compassionate intention, and that our meditation practice will benefit all beings. And then at the end of the practice, we dedicate our merit for the benefit of all beings. So we seal in the blessing of our practice, and we actually kind of follow through on the intention we set. So to close out. So we'll say this together. I'm going to pull this up for those online. Okay. Throughout my many lives and until this moment, whatever virtue I have accomplished, including the merit generated by this practice, and all that I will ever attain, this I offer for the welfare of sentient beings. May sickness, war, famine, and suffering be decreased for every being, while their wisdom and compassion increase in this and every future life. May I clearly perceive all experiences to be as insubstantial as the dream fabric of the night, and instantly awaken to perceive the pure wisdom display in the arising of every phenomenon. May I quickly attain enlightenment in order to work ceaselessly for the liberation of all sentient beings. Buddhas and Bodhisattvas all together, whatever kind of motivation you have, whatever kind of beneficial action, whatever kind of wishing prayers, whatever kind of omniscience, whatever kind of life accomplishment, whatever kind of benevolent power, and whatever kind of immense wisdom you have, similarly, I, who have come in the same way to benefit beings, pray to attain these qualities. By this effort, may all sentient beings be free of suffering. May their minds be filled with the nectar of virtue. In this way, may all causes resulting in suffering be extinguished, and only the light of compassion shine throughout all realms. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming today.